Hi there, my name is Ben Bailey, and we're here to do an unboxing of a new Kimber Mountain Ascent, the 84L. Great big shout out to backcountry hunters and anglers. I received this gun as a incentive for making a lifetime membership commitment to the backcountry hunters and anglers. If you haven't joined or you don't know about them, go check out their website. If you're interested in hunting, fishing, or just accessing the backcountry without having it be overrun with motorized vehicles, you need to look into backcountry hunters and anglers because they're doing a lot to help protect that kind of space that those of us, you and I, who like to access that country and feel like we're truly in the wilderness, will be able to continue to have that experience for not only our lifetime but generations to come. So check it out. Okay, here's the gun. I live in Massachusetts, and so Kimber had to ship the gun directly to a gun dealer. It came in this cardboard box. It's well packaged. It arrived with no damage at all. As you can see, it's double boxed. Kimber logo. This is the interior box. I'll probably save this one in case I want to store the rifle somewhere. All right. Kimber supplies Tally scope mounts. These are the medium height scope mounts. They're suitable for a 40 millimeter, 42 millimeter objective lens scope. You have to install them yourself. We have a small triangle shaped box that fit into a space right there. Let's have a look inside. All right, it appears we have the bolt. Look at that workmanship. The bolt handle's been hollowed out. This is part of how Kimber cuts the weight down, and it's been fluted. On top of that, it's just a beautiful, lightweight piece of equipment. There is the cap that goes on the muzzle if you want to remove the muzzle brake. I'll show you the muzzle brake once we get inside the box and pull the rifle out. So there's the cap that replaces the muzzle brake and the tool that you use to extract it. And as required by every gun manufacturer, the obligatory tiny lock. Now, the grand opening, let's see what's inside. All right, there's a piece of foam, and here's the rifle. Comes in all wrapped in plastic. It's sealed at both ends. So it was sealed at the factory and it hasn't been opened since. I'll cut the plastic. Wow. Just look at that beauty. The Kimber Mountain Ascent comes with the Optifade camo applied to the Kevlar and fiberglass stock. See, the barrel's been fluted, and there's the muzzle brake. So we're going to test that later. The muzzle brake reduces the recoil. It also increases the amount of noise that the shooter and those close to the shooter hear. So we're going to take this gun down to the range, and we're going to do some tests with a decibel meter and a scale to find out exactly how much the muzzle brake relieves the felt recoil and how much increased noise that means for the shooter. So most of us hiking around the mountains aren't going to have earplugs in our ears, and we need to be aware of how much noise is going to come off of that muzzle brake when we pull the trigger. So I'm going to evaluate whether the reduction in felt recoil is worth the risk of hearing damage from the muzzle brake. If it's not, if the risk isn't too high, then I'll leave it on there. If it is too high, then I'm going to practice shooting and sight this gun in without the muzzle brake so that it's good from table to field. All right, also in the box is user's manual, which I've already looked at online. Looks like some kind of a sticker for my car. A thank you note from the factory. Join the NRA. And precautions. Okay, next we're going to attach the scope mounts, the tally scope mounts and rings that came with the gun. We're going to weigh the gun, and we're going to attach a brand new scope. I'll tell you about it when I attach it. Okay, let's take a closer look at the Kimber Mountain Ascent and insert the bolt. The bolt comes in a separate box, a separate bag inside the box, and you have to install it into the rifle. This slide guide rotates, and if it's in any other than this position, so that it lines up with that fixed guide closest to where the bolt handle sticks out, then it won't go in. So slide it until it lines up, and then simply insert it, push it forward, and click it down. Now the bolt's in place. To remove the bolt, pull it back and depress this lever, which will release the bolt. So up, back, that's the stop. Push the button, and it comes past the stop. So let's go ahead and put the slide in. Now, I purchased this rifle in .280 Ackley Improved. I didn't have the benefit of shooting Kimber before I bought it, and I did a bunch of research asking people and looking online for suggestions on calibers. I wanted a caliber that was sufficient to take an elk at 400 yards, and I wanted a caliber that did not make this gun kick like a mule. One popular caliber, and one of the largest that this gun comes in, is a 7mm Remington Magnum. And I read on several forums that provided a lot of kick on this gun, maybe more than you might want to handle in an odd position, like shooting steeply uphill off your pack, holding against a tree limb in a howling wind. I didn't feel like getting scoped, and I didn't feel like making an inaccurate shot. So I ruled out the 7mm Remington Magnum. It also increases the weight of the gun. This gun weighs 5 pounds, 5 ounces, according to the manufacturer. We're going to get a scale and test that in just a minute. And the 7mm Remington Mag brings the gun weight up to almost 7 pounds. So I got it in .280 Ackley Improved. There's a .280 Ackley Improved. That's a Nosler. I got Nosler trophy grade ammunition. I had to buy a quantity of it through my local gun dealer. It's not something that's stocked. So if you're interested in the .280 Ackley, then you're going to have to plan ahead of time to get the ammunition. You're going to have to make sure if you don't bring ammunition with you when you travel that, there's a store waiting for you with some in stock. If you live in a state like I do, Massachusetts, you can't have the gun shipped directly, the ammunition shipped directly to your house. Other states, Nosler will ship direct, and you can buy it by the box. So one of the ways Kimber reduced weight on this gun was no floor plate. So there's no magazine to insert and no way to insert the bullets from the bottom. The bullets are pushed in, one after the other, and the magazine will hold 5 rounds. Once in, there's a round inserted. The gun's on fire. Let's put it on safe. Now it's on full safe. So one of the objections I heard from someone about this gun is, well, you know, what a pain to unload. It's really not. Have you had a lever action? Because with a lever action, you know, if you load it, you have to cycle it in order to get the bullets out. Not a big deal. These are the tally bases and rings that came with the Kimber Mountain Ascent. There's a rear and a front. When we put them on the gun, you'll see that the spacing of the mounting holes is different. So it's not hard to tell them apart. Tally provides the mounting screws for the rifle and the tool to access both the screws on the top of the scope rings as well as the screws that mount the bases to the rifle. The Kimber Mountain Ascent comes with some screws installed in the scope ring mounts. They don't provide a tool for it, so you're going to need to get a tool in order to remove those. This is a number 15 square head wrench, and that's a perfect fit. The screws twist and come out easily. Okay, let's put this in the gun mount and mount the scope. Remove 4 small screws from the rifle's barrel. All right, now that the screws are out of the Kimber rifle, let's remove the screws from the Tally rings with the tool supplied by Tally. There, get the screws together. Set the base in place right there. And the mounting screws are of identical length. Drop them in their respective holes. And lift the base up just enough to see the screw placement. There we go. And the Manual recommends not torquing these to more than 18 foot-pounds of pressure. I don't have a small torque wrench, but that feels pretty good. Those are tight. There. There's the first one mounted. Nice and snug, not too much. Those feel good. All right, we have our two ring tops, and let's go get the scope.